Hey everyone, it's Donna Cravata here again for another week of the Real 50 over 50. And this week we have Candice Hozza with us, who is the founder of the Align Your Business Method. And she is a spiritual strategist and a business intuitive. And I've got some questions about that. I bet you do too. So, Candice, do you want to explain a little about that and what it is that you do?
First of all, I just like to say hello to everyone and to thank Donna for putting all this together. I know it was a lot of work, so I'm really grateful that she invited me. So my name's Candice Hozza. I'm a spiritual strategist and a business intuitive, and what that simply means is I read the Akashic Records for business insights in helping you to make your decisions to increase your profits, your passion, and your purpose.
Well, that is all important stuff. So now that you bring that up, can you ask, I'm sorry, can you share like what the Akashic Records are and how they work?
Sure, they're a database of our soul and they're connected to divine source. They are an infinite space of wisdom, truth, and love. And they're also a space of infinite possibilities. And that's why they're so in alignment for heart centered business entrepreneurs that are on a mission in this world.
Okay. And so one of the first questions I ask people, of course, because this is the real 50 over 50, what happened to you when you turned 50?
Oh
I'm
my
a big
goodness.
believer. I'm a big believer in that no bullshit button gets activated and things change.
So I remember when I was turning 50, it's been a while now, quite a while. And one of the things I said to myself is Sleeping Beauty woke up at 50.
Mm,
And so that's when the prince kissed her. Now, I didn't need any prince kissing on me. I had
good.
that for myself, but what I meant for me is, like, waking up into myself, into the spirit self of who I was, of owning who I am, and I was embarrassed to do that before I was 50. And so the truth of the matter is Sleeping Beauty did wake up for me in my life at 50.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little leap here and say, is that when you came out of the woo closet?
Pretty much. So for me, I didn't know the difference for like about talking to angels and guides. I thought everybody did that. And then when I found out people didn't do that, I stayed hidden for many years. And so I'd be talking to my angels and guides and asking them questions about things I was doing in my life and some insights, because that's what I thought everybody did. And then when I started telling people that, they wanted to do it too. They wanted to learn either how to read the Akashic Records or how to be able to make decisions from the Akashic Records or how to get support with the Akashic Records. So slowly and slowly, I start coming out of this
Mhm.
divine closet. And and even like today, like I celebrate my openness instead of staying hidden or closed. I want to celebrate who I am every day.
So, what is the correlation between the Akashic records and the spirits and guides and angels?
So I'm going to answer that question. I just need to back up a little bit before I do. So, why I call myself a spiritual strategist is because the Akashic Records are a database. So, it's like a Google search for your soul, and I'm the voice of Siri. That's all I am. You, the client or the participant in the Akashic Record reading, you say, "Hey, Siri, this is what I want to know," right? "Hey, Akashic Records, this is what I want to know." And so while it's a spiritual realm, it's also very strategic of going in and asking the questions. Opening the Akashic Records, I could teach each and every person that's listening to this call to read their Akashic Records in 20 minutes or less. And I'm not kidding and I'm not BSing you. The challenge is the questions that you ask in that database to be able to pull out the resource is as important as reading the Akashic Records. And so it's a database, it's a resource, and it's a space that all of us can read. I'm not special. I am special. My husband tells me I'm special each and every day, and so do my children. But and so I am. And so but so are you. And so everybody has a superpower, Donna.
Mm, I know, and that's, on Candace's website. She has a quiz, and
Mhm.
it is called the Take, fi oh, I typo there, sorry. Find Your Business Intuitive Superpowers quiz to find your Claire, and I took that quiz. So maybe we can dissect my Claire a little bit.
Okay. So
How does
first,
that
let's
sound?
let's tell them how to get this first so that they
Okay,
can be looking at this. So take it right now. It takes about 5 minutes or less.
alright.
So probably less. Go to
Yes.
Candice Hozza, it's Candice, Hozza, HOZZA.com/superpower. And so once you take that quiz, you're going to get an email that's going to tell you the things that Donna learned. So, Donna, tell us which Claire you are.
I am the, clear channel.
Clear channel. Oh, wow. That's a good one. Clear channels are the absolute best readers because they have all the sensories. They don't have to develop all the sensories. Each and every one of us have a primary mode that we go into. For me, I'm a visionary, but I've developed all of my modalities by using the muscle of intuition. So for Donna, she can see, she can hear, she can feel, and she can get like a gut check. So she has all those abilities. That's the great news. She's the best reader. The challenging news for people that are like that is they get bombarded with tons of information and they can often feel and be overwhelmed. So there's ways to mitigate that as well. And that's in the quiz. Hi, how do you say her name?
Yuval.
Yuval. Hi, Yuval. Nice to meet you. I hope you take the quiz.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to find out. One of the things that it said about, the type of Claire that I am, it's like your brain has too many browsers open. I have so many browsers open, there's an actual drop-down menu to the side of my computer with, like, another 40 open windows. But I can't close them because 'cause I'm in the middle of doing, like, 800 things.
Aw. Aw, that's precious. So they can often be overwhelmed. I wanna tell you about clairsentience because clairsentients are the ones that they'll come to me and they say, "Guess what? I'm not intuitive. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything." But they are the most accurate. They get one thing. That's all they get, one thing, and it's a little punch or a little nudge, and it's like, "Oh," and then they get this knowingness. It's like it drops in. It's like, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to do that." Why do you know? You don't know why. It just kinda drops in. So they're my ones that'll say, "I'm never gonna be able to read the Akashic Records," but they're the most accurate. Now Donna's gets overwhelmed, but when she can go drop into the Akashic Records, she can see. It's like just think about, like, underwater swimming, right? So you can see, you can hear, right? So that is a more accurate reader as well, so
Mhm. Yeah, and it's funny because one of my clients once, described the work that I did as, like, looking at the ocean and seeing how it was beautiful, but it was just, like, beautiful and calm, and then when she worked with me, she went underneath, and she saw everything that was happening underneath the ocean, and it's I guess that's my Akashic Records.
it's your database of your soul, connected to divine source. So it's that infinite space of wisdom, truth, and most especially love. And so just being in that space is so filling. It's so healing to be able to be in that space of love and spend time in that space. It's very joyous for me each and every
Mhm.
day.
Yuval, can you take the quiz now and come back and tell us what you are, and Candace will give you a little bit of insight into your Claire?
Oh,
And then
yes.
I'll put up the website again just in case you need it. That would be fun.
Yeah, take it. Let me know what you are.
Yeah, so, now talk a little bit about your background because your background isn't in this at all, and I wanna kind of, like, explore a little bit of, how you go from what you did in the past to what you're doing now, because it was a leap.
It was a leap of faith, and I say it was my past life. So the Akashic records are often associated with past lives, and so I like it's a funny little thing for me to say. So my what I used to do is I worked for a university for 30 years and I retired there, and I had a very conservative job. I worked with students and I absolutely loved like student leadership programs, and I've actually worked with some students recently in the Akashic records, and boy, that was so magical for them. At the time when I was employed there, I wanted to do that work, but I wasn't really allowed to do that work because it
Mhm,
was considered spiritual, which spiritual could be in a state university considered religious. And so as
mhm.
a representative of the university, I really wasn't allowed to play,
Yeah.
even though they had this as a resource. So that's what I used to do. I worked at a university for 100 years, it felt like. And it was a great job, and it was a career, and I was really grateful for everything that I learned and everything I did and all the students.
And then when you retired, you started to dig more into this?
So then I got sick. So I had a little knock on the door, energetically speaking, and I start hearing some messages from my guides. Now, I hate when people say, "Oh, I heard my guides," but I really did. I really was hearing these little knocks on my door saying, "You're not supposed to do this anymore. You're not supposed to be at the university." And I just kind of flippantly said to my guides, "Listen, if you give me my insurance and a retirement settlement, like, my retirement,
Mhm.
I'll leave." Then I got cancer. And that's what happened. I got cancer and I was supposed to be the best type of cancer. I was supposed to come right back to work. And 1 year later, I was still having struggles from the cancer. And so what happened was I got exactly what I asked for. Remember how I said it's the most important thing is asking the questions or asking for something? So I got just what I asked for. I got full medical and I got $50 a month
$50 a month all at once?
all at once. So we had to cash out of one of our policies and it just gave you these $50 increments every month.
Mhm.
There was another retirement, but to be 54 and to retire really wasn't a sustainable
Yeah.
retirement. I wanted it to build and to grow, and it's still building and growing. So then what was I going to do? Well, there was that knock on my door from my spirit guides, and they kept saying, read the Akashic records for people. I'm like, no way. I'm not going to be that hairy eyeball look. Now I come to interviews with sparkles on my face because I really like sparkles. I don't want to deny after 50, I'm not denying myself anything. Ladies, if you don't get anything from the Akashic record thing, do not deny yourself anything. If you like sparkles, sparkle yourself up, baby, because you are the one enjoying this journey and it's your life.
Yeah, I have to be happy. I have been on a quest of just eliminating anything from my life that doesn't make me happy. And I've spent like the last year and a half redesigning my business. So it was what I wanted to be, not what it just kind of cobbled into based on what people needed. And I've gotten really good at saying no. No, thank
Oh,
you.
such a big word with 2
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah.
But it means so much to our lives. When we say no, what we're doing is we're opening space for the yeses.
Yes, totally. And I found that people respond better when you say no, thank you.
So 3 words. 3. No, thank you. There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Okay. So now Candace also has a book. See, mine has some tabs on it up there. Align your business. And the tagline is how to find your windows of opportunity and claim the next level of you. So let's talk about those windows of opportunity.
I wanna talk about the woo moments first because 'cause I'm
Okay.
all about the woo.
Okay.
And so let's
Keep
talk
going.
about those windows of opportunity. So one of the things that I started to notice after reading probably about 3,000 hours in the Akashic records, I'm up to probably at least 5,000 hours of reading individual Akashic records from people that have come to me, and there's patterns that I'm starting to notice. When I wrote the book, I started to notice these patterns, but I'm going to talk about the overarching result of what I saw. So here's us vibrating. That's what I read. Basically, I don't read language. I read a vibration and I interpret it like a foreign language. So I read this language and it vibrates up here. This is our perfect self. But guess what happens next? Right about here, about 8 inches, see what's in the way? Our heads. Is that BS story that starts happening. No, you can't do that. You can't read the Akashic Records and make that a living. Who are you, Candy? Right?
Mhm.
That was my BS
Yeah.
story, my belief system story. Here's what happens when you release a block that's holding you back. Like Donna said, I'm cleaning stuff out of my life. Guess what else needs to be cleaned out? Your energy field. It's something that can be congested and get dirty. When that happens, things can't move through. So let me show you what a woo moment, a window of opportunity moment is. Here's us, perfectly aligned. Here's us, misaligned. What happens when we release those blocks, those things that no longer serve us, or that belief system or the story that's in our head? What happens is this. They start vibrating and we line up like this. Look at this space. This is space in our energy system. It is a complete platform. So when our desire and what we want to do meet, that is that window of opportunity. So I used to say to everybody when I would look at something in the Akashic Records, I'd say, "Oh, this is going to happen forever," meaning that guy that you're going to meet, that job, that opportunity. That wasn't the truth. When things line up like this is your juicy moments, everybody. This is a platform of energy when those two things meet, and go and get it all during that time. If somebody says yes to me in my business for a program or something, guess what else I do? I go out to all my other yeses that I want that day. If I get a no, I kind of back off that day because something is off. So, this is where our juice is at. This is where our passion, our purpose, and our profits live. And so, this alignment process I designed when I saw misalignment. And so it's a 6-step process. When you buy the book, there's actual worksheets. You can actually learn to read the Akashic Records. You learn about your value structure and why that is so important in order to move forward. Because guess what? We have a back part of our brain that's unconscious. And so when we are unaware of the conscious internal drivers, that's what's either pushing us forward or holding us back. So, anyways, I created this 6-step process and it's in my book and it's very useful and helpful. I use that process depending on where I'm at. When I'm stuck in November, guess what came along to the beach with me? I was really having a bad time. My book. And not for ego, but I needed to do some work. I am not perfect and I need to continue to do work. And so I brought my book and I was working on myself.
That's great. Well, then, teacher, teach thyself, right? Healer, heal thyself.
Healer,
All right in there.
heal thyself. Amen to that.
Amen.
Amen, sister. I can say all that stuff now. I'm not working at a university.
So if you can offer, one piece of advice, if somebody is feeling stuck or feeling like, they're just kind of on the hamster wheel of whatever it might be, what's the one thing that you can do to kind of snap yourself out of that?
First of all, stop. Just stop. The very first thing I see when people get out of alignment or get fearful is then it's like, "Oh, but I need this and but I need this.
Mhm.
And then I need this." Let go of everything. Just put it all down. Step back. And however you access your spirit self, like for me, I say a little prayer. Some people use intentions. And I just ask, I'm like, "Dear angels, guides, and record keepers, can you please support me today and give me the information or show me the information that I need?" Then pay attention. Listen with your ears. Listen to a song that's being played in a random place like the grocery store.
Yeah.
Use your eyes, read the back of license plates, watch the numbers on your receipts. 444, what does this mean? look it up on the internet. What is the spiritual meaning of 444? It will tell you.
Mhm.
So utilize what you already have. And if you're struggling, you can always book a call with me. I give free 30-minute alignment calls to see where you're stuck. And how you access that is CandiceHozza.com/book, BOOK. And I'll help you.
Okay, let's put that up. So if you want to book a call with Candy, you can just come right here. And I have to say she's magic. I've known her online for quite a while, and then we were at an event last fall, and we ended up sitting next to each other, and we pretty much inseparable for 2 days.
Oh, she's magic too. We played.
Yeah, we went to lunch, never came back. We were bad.
Were there any distinctions? I don't remember if there were any distinctions that I was able to give you. I don't remember if we did anything formal, like a little mini read, or if you had asked any questions. I can't remember.
No, we just connected and, we were finishing each other's sentences.
Yes, it was fun.
Um, and, I have had my Akashic records read many years ago, and, it's really interesting. The person that did them was not very, skilled at it. She had just started doing it, so she was a little overwhelmed, and I think mine were kinda detailed, and I think it was more than she was ready to handle. But she
Well,
went back, I think it was 26 lifetimes or something.
well, I really, I think 5,000 hours is a little bit of an experience, but,
Yeah, yeah,
I've had some things happen in the Akashic Records, and some of the things have mostly all of it has been incredibly juicy and exciting. There's been a couple times when I'm doing a block release that something comes in that's not a good energy, and that's been interesting, but I've even been able to handle that because one of the things, Donna, asked me to express is trust your guides, right? Like, trust who you are inside your heart. There's so much noise in this world. I'm making
yeah,
some of it right now. I hope it settles
mm,
gently on your heart, but there's so much noise in this world. Trust you first.
yeah, that's really good advice. That's advice that I kind of took to heart when I had my son, because for some reason, when you're pregnant or you have infant, people feel compelled to give you way too much information, and I started to think of it like a strainer. Like, I would put all of this information into the strainer, and I'd let everything fall out, and then I would only keep the stuff that stayed in there. And I've kept that as almost like a boundary since then, and my son's 21 now.
And Donna's making, I think, just a beautiful point. This strainer that she's talking about and this energy that everybody gave her when she was pregnant, it's just boom, boom, it's energy. Well, she
Mm,
didn't need all that energy. So that's called energy overwhelm. So that strainer is there's a way to protect yourself from when people give you too much energy. So another thing I'm suggesting is however you ground yourself before you go out consciously, or like
mm,
I have some protection things on because I do a lot of like block releases. One day I did a block release from a 25-year-old or 25-year service of a police officer, of an investigator. So he's really seen the worst of humanity. And when I took out all those blocks, I ended up going to a different type of doctor, like a holistic doctor. And he goes, "What is all over you?" And he said, "Make sure when you're releasing blocks that you have some protection." So the same thing for each and every one of you. When you go out into this world right now, just have some nice stones, obsidian or something like that, or just do a gentle grounding exercise and say, angels, guides, record keepers, please protect me as I go on this journey and help me to keep my energy to me and put everybody else's energy back to them. And so I actually do that at the end. I actually put somebody's energy back and take my energy back when I close the records. So, same thing.
yeah, and that could be done, without opening and closing records, but just,
Mhm.
like, getting on the subway.
Yeah. Protection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Like, my son he's definitely an empath, and he's learning how to protect himself. and,
Mhm.
there's only so much advice he'll take from me. So,
Can we
I
talk about empaths? Because
oh, yes,
they're oh
yes,
my
we can
god,
talk about anything you wanna talk about.
they're the ones that touch my heart the most is because, it's like osmosis, like that cell that we learned back in biology, and then everything goes through the cell like osmosis. For people that are highly kinesthetic or very empathetic, that they feel everything, if they're the person that if you say, "Oh, I cut myself and I cut it real
Mhm,
deep," they're the ones going, "Ow, ow, 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 ow,"
yeah.
and they're not cut, right?
It's like they have nerves on the outside of their body.
But they bring everything in.
Yeah.
So people that have fibromyalgia, they are overprocessed. You know how Donna was just saying she put a strainer out there? She was very wise because it could have actually affected her body. Fibromyalgia is when the nerves are so stressed. It's like that if you even touch that person, it's like burning skin. And it just really touches my heart when somebody has that. Who the people are that are having that is kinesthetics. And what they haven't done yet is they haven't released that junk in their energy field. And that could be simple requests from your guides, first of all. And then the second thing is to protect yourself more because you're just taking everything in all the time. So you don't need to do that. Take in what you need and what you want and ask the rest to go away. Remember, that's their energy. Take your energy back to you. That's really important. And so those are the kinesthetics. So if you took the quiz and you're kinesthetic, you'll get some information about how to protect yourself as well.
That's good. And then there's one other thing I wanna talk about before we wrap up, inner GPS.
Oh, yeah. Inner GPS, baby. So how many times have you wanted to make a decision about how to move forward in life, either in a relationship or in a career or just in like right now we're redoing our bathroom. There's a lot of decisions to make. So here's one little gauge. Just ask yourself, is this the right decision for me now? And then ask yourself to see if it feels heavy or if it feels light. So I'm going to just do something for myself to see how it feels, or you do something for you in this moment. Um, am I happy with my current career? That's something all of you can ask. Am I happy with my current career? I feel like little fairies are like floating inside me with joy. Like that feels light.
Mhm.
Now, if I had a dark feeling or heaviness, that would mean that decision is a no. And so that's one way to start practicing your yeses and your nos. And I just invite you to use your own inner GPS. As I said before, there is a lot of noise in this world right now. There's a lot of political things, there's a lot of things happening. You are the biggest focus. If you're here walking this planet, you have a purpose, a passion, and so you are needed on this earth. So listen to your heart and don't be like me and say to my guides, yeah, yeah, that's nice. Sure, you need me on this. What am I going to do on this
If
planet?
you would've been nicer, you might have gotten more than $50 a
I
month.
know, right?
You
But
could be up to, like,
I do want to
175.
say something about that $50. So when I started this career about 3 years in 1 month, I made the exact amount that it took me 30 years with a master's degree to work at my other job. So, I remember my guides kept saying, do this, do this. And I'm like, oh no, I have this job for this amount of money. And they were trying to say, but honey, you can do a lot better, right? Like it's time to move on. So listen. And it wasn't about money for me. Please hear that too. I'm just inviting what is your infinite possibility right now. I am sure that your divine self sees something much bigger than you are seeing for yourself right now. So
Yeah,
go for it.
yeah, that's really good advice. Okay, so where can people find you?
Oh.
Where do
So,
you like to hang out?
where I like to hang out. So I'm on Facebook. I haven't actually been doing a lot of lives right now. I have been holding my energy back into me because I needed to fill my cup up. My heart cup was real empty. But I am taking calls right now. So I don't usually do that. So that's where you can find me at a call. CandiceHozza.com/book, BOOK. And there's a spiritual strategy session or an alignment session. If you have a business, pick the alignment session. If you want to know more about spirit or quantum connection or my programs that I have, to read the records and to learn about the alignment process. And yeah, a 30-minute free call. How can you
Yeah,
beat that? I wish I had that
let
back when I
do
was
it.
starting out, right?
Yeah, and get the book because it's full of really practical information.
And you could learn how to read your Akashic records in one of the
Exactly.
chapters as well. So that's not the practical, but
Mhm.
there is very
But it is
practical.
practical. It is practical.
Yeah, I'm a strategist, a spiritual strategist,
Yeah,
right? So it is a strategy. Yeah.
it is a strategy, and we have to do that inner work before we do the outer work. So,
Boy, I got slammed into that. Absolutely. It's some, and you know what? I'm still doing my inner work.
it doesn't end.
It doesn't
An
end.
onion never ends.
The onion peel never ends. But maybe we could replace the onion with a flower. That's what I would
Yes.
say. Because there's the blossoms and then more blossoms, and
Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm all about the flower.
Okay, I like that. So anyway, connect with Candace, get on one of those calls before she decides she's not doing this anymore. And take your energy back. Decide decide where you wanna spend that energy.
You tell them, Donna. Take your energy back,
Yeah,
everyone, please.
yes, yes. And come back next week because we have another woman over 50 who we're gonna talk to. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you, Donna. Much love to you, and thank you to all of you for listening today.
Yes, and if you're listening on the replay, just put something in the comments, tag us, we'll come back and we'll respond. Bye.
Bye.